Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Adapting here. Today I'm going to be going through a little bit of what I'm doing in terms of coaching. Currently, I'm offering two options. One, a VoD review, and the second option is in live person coaching. For the VoD review, we will be focusing on highlighting major mistakes, missed opportunities, but also highlight things that you've done well. Depending on your skill range, I will guide you between macro and micro plays. Macro is more like map play, where to be, how to farm, etc. Whereas micro is more individual, like ability usage, etc. So for the live person coaching, we'll go through your game in real time and help influence decisions in game and also provide after game summary talk. However, I highly recommend going through the VoD review sessions first so that I can gauge your skill level and see what we need to be working on. If you're happy about booking a lesson, give me or Vivi the Boop a DM through Discord. Hope you enjoyed this coaching video, and I hope to see you soon. Hello.
Hey,
Hey man, how's it going?
going all right. I just got up.
Oh, you just woke up? Same actually,
Yeah.
kind of. I ended up having like a nap. Woke up, had some food, and now ready to do some coaching.
Yep.
Before we start, same thing as before. Anything you want to, highlight that you want to talk about, or anything, or get into it?
So, I guess in this game in particular, I struggled a little bit at like the beginning and end of the game. I felt like
Okay.
my mid game was pretty okay, but I don't know. For some reason, at the start and end of the game, I was struggling like a lot,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
Okay. We'll have a look. We'll see kind of what's going on, see what you're building and stuff. I'm starting the video now. Do you have
Yep.
my stream up so you can see there?
Yes,
Perfect.
I do.
Alright, I'll fast forward a bit here. Don't need to see the not too much. I guess I can't see what you have, like something blocking your.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I got I think cooldown, the
Corn
cooldown
shard?
one. Yeah, I
Alright.
tried.
Yeah, that's fine. The team comp here. Oh, you actually have a pretty good comp to be a Nasha. Like your team follows up really well of it. You have the Ganesha, Raw, even like we that didn't follow up. So let's see how this goes. I suppose it's Tibo mid. I don't know if you're against, is it Rat Jungle or Thor?
It is Thor.
Okay. This used to be like a classic matchup back in the day, like Thor into Nasha or Nasha into Thor. Kind of matchup that can go either way. Oh,
Yep. Yeah.
at least he didn't pick up the red. It's not too bad actually. I guess you're doing the 2 HP potion, 1 multi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's typically my start for most games.
Yeah,
Not all.
it's nice because it just basically should mean that you have enough gold for your tier 2 basically anytime you want to back for it. Because otherwise sometimes you just have to like wait a bunch of gold. Right. Evo 3 down. You popped your potion. Get the sash in. You guys should out clear. Working up the pressure. Here you do have time to go to the right. And you do go for them. It's good. Question is if they went left or not. Yeah, they did. Okay, so then you probably just want to go to solo side since there's not too much else you can do. See Thor going left.
Yeah.
Okay, you decide that you want to follow this. It is a fine decision to do. I personally probably would just have went right, but setting up for counter gank can be good too. Thor hammered in. If you felt like this was a fight that you won, you could have tried to just stay hidden and just waited it out a bit longer and tried to bait some abilities to be used. Alright. Good, you just back at least. Make sure not to overstay, and he gets killing solo.
Yeah.
I'll just pause quickly. So, I mean, this is a fine play because all these plays in the start are kind of optional on like what you want to do and what you think you should be doing. But in this case, because they already have like vision and they should be pretty safe in the lane, unless you think there's like a high possibility of getting like a kill on a counter gank. You could just have played the solo side map and just built like a small lead to begin with. Because you already had the pressure for the right, you could have gotten this little... I don't know what this camp is called, the purple...
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know what that is.
You could have got the CD buff, and because the Thor was hovering in the duo side map, you probably would have got Tiki control as well. And then you probably would have gotten another set of mids. So you would have basically gotten like almost a full level advantage by just choosing to go to the solo side. And you also get the like a free gank potential in solo because you know Thor is duo side and he can't really counter gank you while you're in solo.
Right.
So the only thing that matters there is like, yeah, that your dual lane doesn't die to it, but it seemed like they probably were aware enough. But again, it is fine to follow if you want to give your, like, help your duo lane keep pressure in their lane. Like, if you think that's something important, then it's a fine choice to make, I'm just saying. Oh, nice. Nice ring toss there to secure the kill. Did you have ring toss there when you went in? Oh, you didn't. You had it because you used it on the camp. Yeah, I was gonna say, you could have got the prot sheds before you went into the sky. But... it's good timing, so you ulted on his, like, stun timing. That's a good defense. Nice pick. You got your ring toss back up when you came back down, so you got the ring toss anyway. It did so much damage.
Yeah, I felt like in this game there was like a lot of like, okay, that was a good decision, and immediately following that, I made like a horrible decision.
Yeah, that happens. I do that too. Oh, we see Thor here. Oh, he's really poked out. I don't know. I don't know if you noticed he was there. It kind of looked like you didn't notice that he was walking there. Ooh, okay. That's a good raw snipe. I kind of salvaged that a little bit because that's what might have been able to get like a double kill. Here you could have just, I don't know if you saw him or not, if you just chose to ignore him, but maybe you can try and clear this camp fast, but just try and be fast just getting over to your team here, because the Thor is really poked out, and if he does anything stupid, like he kinda does, because now you use your ring toss here, and then like you could have like saved it for here, etc. But I'm not sure if you just, like, did you know? Do you remember if he...
No, I'm pretty sure I completely just ignored it.
Oh, you just, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, just try and keep that in mind. Like, whenever you're clearing camps, unless you think there's like any threat, as in you're trying to avoid damage in the area you're in, just look at the map while you're clearing, because you don't really need to see the HP of the camp usually as you're hitting it. Just have a quick glance. You know, you don't need to stare at the map, but just glance, see, kind of get a quick little information window while you're farming, see, okay, what's going on, and then, yeah, just plan what you want to do next.
So I've noticed in a lot of your games, you go health chalice when you have the gold for it.
Yeah.
just your sustain throughout the jungle. Do you think it's better to get that early on or like later into the game?
Definitely better to get early because you're getting the value out of the health chalice early. Good spot on the counter gank. But yeah, I go with because you get so much healing throughout the game. It's really, really nice. Okay, here you're looking a little bit like you were thinking about a dive there. Okay. Ooh. I kind of respect the effort to try and go for the kill here, because if you do try to ult away, you're most likely going to die anyway, right?
Yeah.
So the best thing you actually can do is probably, like, in this position, you don't really need to be in this position to begin with, because the Gilga's backing, and well, unless you want to go for like a dive where you most likely trade 1-for-1, is just kind of pointless, because you have farm coming up too. So realistically, you could probably just have backed out there as soon as like whatever creep was farmed. You probably could have just gone and either done the tiki, the totem, sorry, and then you could have rotated and looked. You could have even looked aggressively because you see they're poked out. So you could have checked potentially if their tiki was up, because they might be synced the timers. Fairly likely. But yeah, instead you're gonna just stay a long time.
Yeah, definitely a bit of overstay here.
Yeah, but I mean, going for the kill here, I think is the right play, because you're just gonna die if you run anyway. So I think that's, I mean, whenever like you do know that like you fucked up or whatever, like you're in a bad position, yeah, you just try and get something out of it, and that's what you did, which was at least a good attempt to try and like salvage something. Alright, which I going to Transcendence next. Okay, now you've seen their Tiki color change as well, so you know their Tiki is slightly ahead of yours. Also gives you information that they've been in the right jungle. Oh, nice little shop. Oh, do you hear the Thor there? I think you might have missed that.
Yeah, I mean, the
important thing to miss. Here when you see they're fighting like this in mid, like this, like pretty aggressive in mid, you could just try and start pathing over more closely, just to see if there's anything you can do. Of course, this is something that depends on situation, but because it looks like they're kind of fighting and they might, you know, overextend or like use too many abilities, it could be better to just go closer, and then if you decide that it's not really worth helping or nothing's gonna come out of it, then you can go back to the blue. Because right now it looks like you're thinking about it and then you hesitate a bit, and there you like like they dash in and they, you know, like the heap was using a lot of abilities. You maybe could have
I probably changed my mind because I was like, I'm just gonna get blue XP.
Yeah.
Like they're probably dead anyways.
Yeah, it's completely fine to make that choice. I have like the same things a lot of the time where I will see, you know, a fight going on and I'm like, I'm not sure I can even do anything, so I'm just gonna get the farm. But it's just when you're close-ish, it's just giving yourself the opportunity to help if need be, because the like 2 seconds you'd lose going back to the blue isn't really that bad. Oh, nice Ash over the Karen ult. Good use. Oh, beautiful ult. Nice timing. You get the 2. Okay, you should know Thor ult is down right now, so... And the rat was in tower, so looking for the blue here instantly should be like a pretty high priority, because as you path it in, you did see that the blue was up. I don't know if the rat went back to pull it, but before you even come here, you can see the blue there. You see the blue camp, you see the rat HP, you need Thor dunked in mid.
Yeah.
So that even if he like rotates over here, you're fairly safe because you have your beat still. So it's just a thing to think about. Like after you get the kill, just always when you get kills, try and think like, is there anything you can take away from the enemies? Like, can you invade something? Here you would have been safe to go look for it. I don't think the rat's got to do the buff. I'm not sure if he's pulled it into the tower now or not, but always worth checking. Just a good thing to have in like your habits. It's just like part of the fundamentals. Just always trying to take away farm whenever you get a win. Got some cooldown right now, so you're probably just gonna want to farm. Right up is coming up. Okay, I was gonna... Ooh. Alright, Thor. Do you see him? Do you get Thor knocked here? Oh, you're out of range. Nice, you missed everything. We'll see a little bit what happens here, and then we'll go through kind of... Alright, let's go back and just to quickly discuss kind of, you know, what's going on here. Because you see the Charon following you, pathing like this is really good when like people are unaware that you're coming. Or even now you could kind of path like this. But because the Charon is looking at you and following you and hitting you, you should be aware that the Hebo could just play the corner here, right? And you don't really have ult, and so because your teammates aren't positioned like aggressively enough that even if you like sash, they can really do anything. You're kind of just putting yourself in a vulnerable position here by walking up aggressively before your team is in position to really do anything as well. And then because this Hebo's just playing the corner here, he gets the knock up, one, ult. Now you do get out, but all in all you just took like 1000 damage and return nothing. And if they have any sort of follow-up, like if the Thor is a bit quicker here to reach you, then this is gonna be a terrible fight.
Yeah.
When you could have just pathed kind of low side, or you could even maybe try and stay a little bit around like the mid part if you want to try and cut off this angle later on. But you just can't walk up until you have information on where the Hebo is.
Alright.
But you do a good job just, you know, leaving the fight and making sure you live.
As soon as I heard the Thor, I just walked away.
Yeah. And that's good. Is he staying up a bit? Oh, nice. Get ult off. Does the Raw have follow-up? He should. Nice. Okay, that was good. I don't know if the Thor had beats or not. I don't remember if he used it earlier. But I mean, if he beats that, then... I mean, you probably still fine, so... It's good to look for. Again, you just got a kill, so it's always good to see if you can do anything in enemy jungle. This might be kill potential, actually. That was a good pick to look for. You know you're safe to go for that as well, because the Thor was dead and just respawned, so... He was most likely just around speed, and I don't even think his ult would have been back up yet. That was a good observation. Alright. No, you don't have timer on either mids, but I think they might be up. Yeah, you make the right choice here, ignoring the chest camp and making sure you go contest the neutrals first. You got your speed coming up, and then after that, you kind of have a window where you can choose if you want to farm or look for gank. Okay, you back. I think in this case, you kind of just lose a little bit of like tempo, just backing, because you don't really buy any. You buy one ward. It's not like you're getting like an HP potion or anything. You do like you literally just back for one ward, and you already have that. Did you have one ward in hand, or did you buy two?
No, I think I had one ward in hand.
Yeah, so you could have just been here way earlier and cleared that camp earlier if you didn't feel like you wanted to do anything in mid or duo.
Remember that thing I was talking about, making good decisions and going right back and making a poor decision?
Oh. Are you... Wait, are you critting on the... Wait, it's like shows that it goes like red. Oh. You must live.
High TPs are...
Nah.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll just talk about this real quickly again. Here is just, yeah, a little bit, maybe. Like, it's fine to look for a steal or whatever, but you also have to be a little bit careful because it's a 2v1. Well, 3v1 because the rat could come back. So he's playing like really far up to look for this pick. And you're kind of fed as well, so you don't really want to trade one for one.
Trading one, yeah, trading one for ones when you're fed.
Yeah, it's like, feels pretty bad. It's completely fine to trade one for ones when you're behind, or like sometimes even if you even, it can be good if they lose like waves or whatever, or your team gets pressure from it, but in this position it's just kind of a risky play for... I mean, there is like some outplay possibility there if you play it like really well mechanically and, you know, like have a perfect ult and everything, but it's kind of hard to kind of plan coaching around going like for like insane plays. So
yeah,
in general, there I would say just hold on the waves. Maybe you can try and like walking up to try and get the steal on the buff was fine, but then after that just back out. You know, he had peel there, and rat was coming. It's just a high risk, low reward play.
Yeah.
And those are the things we kind of want to work on doing as few times as possible. The only time they really... I mean, it's only worth doing high risk, high reward plays when it's like stealing like an FG or something, really. Nice, hitting the yellow tiki. It's really nice. Feels good. Alright, this was a nice call. I think you get it.
And then, you know, make a nice call and then turn right back around and make a mistake.
You're just walking at this guy again. So we saw this tool was right. It's from... oh. Yeah, you just... Oh, and you get walled off. Wow. You got a massive combo on you there. Yeah, again, it's kind of the same. I think to note is that like when you call this Gold Fury, right? Because this wave isn't pushed, you're giving up the rotation priority to the Hachiman, right? Because he gets to clear the wave, and then he has the possibility of rotating first. And after you do the gold, the Huyi needs to go back to lane, because otherwise he's just gonna lose the wave, and then the Gold Fury isn't even that efficient. Here, like, it's fine to start like hovering, but as soon as you see him like backing out, it's fine to just go back to the mid harpies. Just play around the farm.
Yeah.
The consistent thing to do in all games is just playing around the farm. Guys, that's kind of what the game revolves, and especially like the higher the level like people are playing, is just about controlling farm, and that you have the possibility of doing that here. You get the gold fear, you can do this. You see Thor is taking like the teleporter, so he's kind of just wasting time if you just control the farm.
Right.
So yeah, it's just walk up, take a bunch of poke, the Thor's rotated, the Hutch is rotating. Still have your blue Tiki up, but then it like looks like you want to look for something. You spot the Hachi, but I don't think you spotted that the Thor had taken the TP.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably one of those, like, I peeked at the map, saw he was in right. I'm like, alright,
Yeah.
he's nowhere near me.
Yeah.
And when, I see him come down, I'm in shock.
Yeah. Fair enough if you thought he wasn't around, but still have to think about the fact that the Hui was just not gonna be in position.
Yeah.
But it's easy to make these type of misplays because you just have to understand like the map. I was gonna say like map geometry, but yeah, like the positioning of your teammates as well. Especially when you're ahead, you don't really need to look for like anything special. Just try and get the farm and just see if the enemy fights around the farm. Like that's kind of where you want to try and fight around. Is like those mid harpies or whatever when you do want to fight. Oh, can't get the blink over the wall. I actually hate. I don't have I have instacast, so I can't even see when I can't blink the wall. Oh, nice ult. See if you get any follow up. I don't know if your team is aware. Yeah, they're not, but you blink. Juke the wall. Not sure if it was intentional or not, but it was a good. Like you were moving erratically, so it's hard for him to hit it. Get the pyro. Here you guys maybe even have the possibility for an FG call, because you have Raw and Hui with ult. But this is completely fine, just taking a small win, not trying to snowball it. You get the blue. Oh, the rat slow. Nice sash. And you get a stash. Okay, this should be a kill. Smart there to go back and reset the tower. And you get the tower afterwards. And now this probably isn't up because you heard a rat there, so don't really need to look for it. Okay, let's see if you make the smart play here or if you try and like chase this guy. Okay. You just back out. You just this is right. Just go clear your farm. You have 2.3k in hand. You just wanna back, get your transcendence. Here you could also do the blue before. Yeah, and you do. I would have done the same thing. Yeah, I was gonna say now's a good time to warn your team because you're not gonna be around to fight because you have a important power spike to back for, as it sets you up for the gold fury that's gonna spawn and the beacon that's coming up. So you just at this point have to hope your team doesn't make any dumb plays. They do, but you can't really control that. That's out of your like. Oh, you went Heartseeker. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Heartseeker is nice to Nasha too, so it's fine. Interested to see what you're building. Ooh. Okay. Now you just play your life. This was a good play on this. Did you know if he didn't have beats, or were you just relying on him just?
I was chancing it. No, I was chancing it.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, you could maybe get punished for it, but it's good to look for. Who you was there, so you had backup, you get the kill, and then you just live.
I mostly assume when people don't beads the sash, they probably don't have beads.
Yeah.
Probably. I know there are people who are really good at holding on to their beads even through the sash.
Yeah, some people are really good at it, some people are really, I don't know, some people just insta beats no matter what. And some people just don't beats at all, because, I don't know, they try to hold on to them, but they don't have the reaction time, I guess. Let's see if there's like anything you could have done here to kind of mitigate the losses, because I kind of was just thinking about the fight there. Because your team just ends up dying here. So you guys just lost like a massive lead as you were,
Yeah.
because you had to back and spend that gold, and I don't think this, like, it would be really weird for you to like make a forceful rotation to mid just to like try and help them when you have 2.4k in hand, like you have massive power spikes in hand. So the rats, there's not really too much you could have looked for in the meanwhile. You guys still have the lead, and you're strong now, so you can still look to make stuff happen soon. Yeah, that's fine to back forget the tiers. I really like the, what's it called, the Jotun's figure. He's so good in some fights, like it's just like you can just clutch up some moments where it just saves you from the movement speed. Oh.
Oh yeah, I completely missed the ult there.
No, that's okay.
It's alright, we salvage it.
Alright, let's see what happens. Nice, get the sash. Been on point with the sashes at least. Just gotta say, here, because you saw the Charon ult and like your entire team is just around you, I like to hold Malt a lot of the time. As like, if I don't think I need to use it. But here it's completely fine to just, you know, just get it off. Because you have the follow up next to you. And even if like the guy rotates or whatever, you guys are still gonna, you're just all gonna be grouped. Well, it was good observation though to notice that he was coming down. You saw he was coming with the portal and then looking for the play. And then they're fighting over here, so you get a nice chase in. Pyro's coming up here. Yeah, and you notice that, you make the call. Oh. Ooh, you lived. Never mind, that's his speeds, that's funny.
Yeah.
That was a good pick. Just gonna say, I don't know. It's like kind of fine to just pull the pyro. I would have just pulled the pyro myself. You could have waited maybe for the Ganesha to come, but I honestly I would have just pulled it to try and just do it as fast as possible.
I really impatient a lot of the times.
Yeah, same. I mean, it would have been smarter to just wait because your Ganesha was coming with like a heal and you did see the rat was right. So you could have just been patient there, and you probably wouldn't have had any close call happen there, but you managed to win that. You didn't have enough for your starters, so it's fine to finish your rated here.
So I'll say this
now, so it's
yeah. This is the part of the game where I was like, starting to feel really good.
Yeah.
Got through the mid game or the early game, and it was like, mid game going into late, and I felt really good from this point for a little while. But then it turns again.
Alright, let's see what happens. Okay, nice. Checking out this down. See the fighting in the left here. Rat in the sky. I actually got a really good sash there. Okay, Tor doesn't have any abilities right now, so should just hit him. Small thing, but they're just... If you can wait like a split second just for the beats to wear out, you get this, you proc your slow, so...
Yeah.
It's just smarter to just try and wait a lot of the time for that. But I mean, you ended up getting like a double crit, so you didn't need it this low. You see some buffs up here. Good ring toss. You got a kind of bit... This fight is going so long.
Yeah. I started to realize I was going on for way too long.
Yeah, it's good to back out there. I was gonna say, as soon as you notice like the farm is up here, you can just try and start looking for that. Like once you see like your team's kind of backing out, like you can ensure that the Ganesha was safe as soon as you got the ring toss. And then because you don't have an ability, it's just path like down defensively. Because now you walk in a way that like the Hebo can knock you up, and he knocks you into the side of the map.
Yeah, I genuinely thought if he misses the 3,
You can just sash and kill him, or
I could totally just hit my 3 and he would die.
Yeah, I mean it's still the thing, like the Charon is there and the rats are on, and there's still like farm you can play for, so it's better to just play it kind of slower. I mean, if you wanna play it smart, just look for the farm here. You can just take that away from them. You can get a small heal, and then the Hebo might still go mid to try and clear whatever, so you might still overextend. And if you were gonna play it in a way where like you're trying to go for like an outplay, then yeah, you just had to make sure your focus is that you try and juke the Hebo 3, like you need to try and bait the ability out. Here you want to make sure you get your starter first. Oracles up. You guys can't really force fire, so it's really good to try and get the oracles off the map here. I don't see if your beats up or not. Just have to try and be a bit careful if you don't know where Thor is. Trade 1-for-1. That's unfortunate. Alright.
Yeah.
Nice, you got your Boombas. And you got... Wait, how much gold do you have in hand? Okay, here you definitely want to make sure you buy a sentry ward, by the way. It's a lot more important than normal wards at this stage. Normal wards are fine if you don't really have enough gold. But even then, I feel like if... Like the Raven ward, I don't really utilize it that much just because I don't know. I just haven't been utilizing it because I haven't thought about it much.
It's very niche and situational.
But if you ever have the gold for the sentry and like even if it's 2 normals or 1 sentry, I'd just buy the sentry. It's better. At this stage in the game, that is. We'll talk a little bit about this fight after. Let's see how it plays out. Nice sash. Ring toss to get the slow. Might need to juke the stun. Oh, don't get the sash. Oh my god, we actually would have hit that. Good beads, and he teleports in.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's actually won. Nice, get some relics with that. Maybe alt coming up soon, so you should be playing around that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Nice pick. So nice attempt also at juking the wall there. We can watch back this fight like kind of quickly and talk about kind of how it started out and what went on. Again, here is just thinking about like what you think he was gonna, but he was, it's kind of like a random play by him to just alt in there.
Yeah.
But again, you could just try and avoid that damage, like when you have your sash on cooldown. Just you could just wait it out a little bit and see kind of like how he's positioning. If he's like backing out, then you can play it through your blink to like chase. And as he just alted through there. You could just try and hug the wall and just try to avoid any damage being taken there, and he just alts air basically. This was fine to try and like pursue. They're kind of fighting right anyway, and then you miss sash this whatever. I was gonna, you can't hit their ability, so. But this ends up like you stall this fight out, good. I was gonna say here you might just wanna be like a bit patient so that once you sash, you can actually like utilize your ult, because you could have maybe just played to get your ult there. But it ends up working out anyway, you know? Like it ends up kind of baiting the enemy team. You sash the rat, they try to help. The Hachi gets CC'd by the Ganesha, and you guys get that pick. You maybe could have held on to the ult, but I don't mind using it to secure the kill.
It's one of those confusing parts at the end of, oh, we gonna get Phoenix, we gonna get Fire, we gonna get Phoenix, we gonna get Fire.
I'd say
No
in
one really knows what we're
general.
doing.
Oh. Ooh.
Overstar, welcome. I can't hit a sash.
This was a mess on everyone's part. Thor dunks in. Yeah, that sucks. Here, because you're not 5-man, and I mean they have 4 alive. Unless you have any like bomb threat or anything, it's really hard to siege. In general, in Smite right now, how it is, if people are alive to defend Phoenixes and you have objectives you can just take, that's a lot safer. Just play it the safe way, especially in ranked, because you have no control on what your teammates are gonna do. For me, sieging is the most difficult thing to do in ranked, because I have no control of like what my teammates or how they're gonna play it. And as a jungler, it's kind of where you have the most difficult time doing anything, because you can't really like play a flank where you can like, you know, get to the backline easily. Like you're just kind of staying, and sometimes you're able to like dive, but most cases you're kind of just standing around and just waiting for things to happen and hoping someone does like something stupid. Just play the objectives here. There's so much farm to be had. Just keep this in mind for yourself, because I mean you're in a great position, and you know when you're working on improving, like you've been playing the map well, and I feel like you're understanding what to do most of the times. Just unless a Phoenix is absolutely free, just play for the pyro, the buffs, or even the fire. Like the fire is a possibility here. You do have raw heals and raw alt, but I would probably just play to get the pyro. That's the safest play. Just get the buffs, get the jungle, get the pyro. You would take everything away from them. You would get a big lead, and then you could still pressure the FG if you decide. It's the kind of thing where okay, so you had this fight, you get the picks. Okay, now you don't know what to do. Just look. Do the pyro first most of the time, unless you see the pathing on the enemies, right? So you see they're pushing mid and there's like 2-3 people in mid as you guys are like walking to the pyro, then you can change the mind and just divert to the FG. But a lot of the time you can do the pyro, and then if the enemy team isn't pathing to defend the fire, you can do pyro into fire, and it all depends on the information you're getting while you're doing the pyro, right? So if you see like someone just like shows up in middle, like people like you see them like pathing to this jungle, then you just call the FG after. But yeah, for sure, just think about this. Like, unless a Phoenix is 100% guaranteed, I would just go for the FG. And even if you have the possibility between choosing a Phoenix and an FG, I would choose FG over Phoenix, because the FG is just gonna help you build such a much bigger lead. And just having one Phoenix down, a lot of the time it will just come back up later on anyway. Whereas when you get the FG pressure, like, you just have so much higher possibility of getting like a team wipe on like a team fight and being able to end the game. And worst case scenario, it's just, you know, a bunch of gold and you can use it to siege towers.
Yeah.
But this ends up being like a really like overextended fight. Also, I'm not sure you realize it, but you didn't utilize your like 2 heal. You could have had another 2 heal proc. And then yeah, I mean, missed abilities, it is what it is. Everyone misses.
I'm pretty sure I'm better at hitting my ring toss than my sash, which is
oh really?
really bad.
I feel like the ring toss is like way harder to hit because the sash is thick. But yeah, I mean, I feel like you've been hitting most abilities. It's been fine. But yeah, you kind of see here what happens though, like with the Phoenix, right? Because it's such a hard objective to go for. And if it goes wrong, another thing to consider, that I didn't bring it up, I just realized. But if you do go for a Phoenix and you fail, then the enemy team not only doesn't lose a Phoenix, but they now have the possibility to get the pyro, the fire, and the control of the game again. So like the fire giant to me is a super important objective entering late game, because whoever has fire basically gets to dictate what happens well once they have it. They get to decide where they want to siege and where they want to go. Like, it's up to the team that doesn't have fire.
It's a big
like,
momentum shift in the game.
Because it's like getting a full item. Well, it's better than getting a full item. Like, the FG is crazy strong. And it's a bunch of gold and XP as well. I mean, XP doesn't really matter at this stage, but, you know, it's a bunch of gold.
Yeah.
And so, like, whenever you're ahead, it's super important to not, you know, do anything where the enemy team can get the FG. Like, if they steal it, like, okay, that is what it is. But, you know, don't try and think about that a lot, like, entering this stage of the game. Prioritize making sure that you guys are able to control the FG.
I think another problem I do tend to have is once you get into, like, you know, the 30+ minute matches, start to get like really impatient.
Yeah, a lot of people have that. I think most people have that.
Because like the game's been going on too long.
Yeah. Oh, that was unlucky. He kicked him in front of your ult.
He kicked him in front of the Hebo, and the Hebo gets a double kill off of it. And that was just...
Maybe you could have had a pick there with some lucky crits. Yeah, I mean, this just all turns out to be a bit of a mess. Even if you get that Sash, I'm not even sure that's like a... It's kind of a risky Sash in. I would just try and avoid the ability here. Just back out from it, because if you Sash in and...
Yeah, I was trying to Sash in to dodge the wave and then try to ult the Hebo off of the Sash.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's a play that can work. It's a play that can work, but I probably would
Ultimately,
just
the
have...
whole time I was just trying to hit the Hebo.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like high risk kind of play. Where I mean, it's hard for me to say that, like, you know, just don't do that. But it comes to the risk, because if it goes wrong, it goes like very wrong. But it can work. I do agree with that. Well, now you guys just lost so much pace in the game. It all kind of just came down to this Phoenix play. You guys aren't sure what to do, and especially like if people aren't sure what to do, it's really good for you to be the person to step it up and be like, okay, let's go do this. Obviously, like, maybe you didn't know now then, but hopefully now, after like the little conversation we had about the objective and what to prioritize, just prioritize making sure you get the fire giant before you go for any phoenixes in almost every case. If you wipe a team and like you were sieging tier 2 already and you're like about to get the phoenix or like maybe end the game, then yeah, of course, then you go for the phoenix and maybe end. But most cases, just play for FG. Be safe, be smart.
Yeah, I think after he kicked the Chiron into my ult, it was one of those you kind of just put your face into your hands moment.
I mean, that's just unlucky as hell. I don't know. This nothing you can do about that. Like that's like a freak accident. Okay, we'll see kind of what's going on here. Yeah, what's up, Mr. Deeds? Ulting there just to close the gap was good. I assume you were ulting to close the gap because he was beatsed. So that was smart.
I knew he was gonna hammer away.
Yeah. Okay, you get kind of space from your team.
Yeah. Like the team's running the opposite way, and I see him like lag forward, and I get scared.
He was kind of like skipping forward a bit there. I'm just gonna say, like, just in this play, honestly, it's fine to just ult this guy here. When you have a comp like this, where people can follow up off you, it's fine to just ult and have the follow up, because you should just get a quick pick where this guy is dealing like 0 damage back. He's doing nothing. Is he seeing nothing? You might need to use like an ult or two. I mean, realistically, you might not even need like a raw ult or whatever, but if the Ganesha just ults on your ult, you guys should just insta-kill this guy. And you just have a numbered fight afterwards. Because this fight kind of drags out like a really long time, which allows the enemy team to kind of get in a better position to try and help out. The thing is, sometimes on Nasha I do like to hold on to my ult a lot as well, because I don't think I need it. But if your team is around and you can just get a kill safely for free, then you might as well just use it. It's just a kind of a good beat by Hebo. Like, he pre-beats your Sash.
Yep.
Obviously, if you had been a bit more patient, you could have sashed him afterwards, but you were kind of like already in your like sash process, and you probably didn't expect it. I was gonna say, you could just have blinked on him as well. You have blink, right? Because that's what I would have done, because you have your blink up. Just pop your 2 and then blink, and you're on console, so maybe blink auto, you can't maybe do that as easily. But I honestly would just have blinked on him and just held the sash, so that you can use it for like follow-up or whatever you want after. And you probably would have been able to just get this kill off that. You would have blinked, he would have beads, nothing. Like, when I want to say, like, yeah, you don't blink sash, you blink auto, and then you use the sash whenever he starts building, like, a gap between the two of you.
Yeah.
You probably could have got a pick there, your team dies. Well, at least it looks like you get the Hebo to this guy. You know he doesn't have beads right now, so...
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Nice sash, max range, beautiful. It's a really big pick here. Now, yeah, walk away. Good, cleansing the CC. You play this sequence well. You managed to find the sash on the Hebo. Like, he does a... It's bad of him to let you sash him, but you did a good job finding the sash, getting the ult, and then afterwards you back out in a smart way. I don't mind the fact that you pre-beated a little bit because it was just being safe.
Yeah, you kind of just assumed Hachi was going to his dash.
You could have lived without beating, but it's... I like the thought process.
And then we go right back around and do something stupid.
I was gonna say, this looked really weird to me. Here you just... Your team isn't around. So even if like you sash or whatever, you probably don't even have any follow-up. And you know they just did it, right? So like, yeah. You should assume that they're at least here, like where the Charon is, at minimum, like at least... Well, it should be 3 people realistically, because I doubt the Charon and the Rat did it. So here is just being having a bit of like game sense, of being like a little bit aware that, okay, they just did an objective. Just wait a bit here, wait for your team to come up, then you can walk up and sentry with them once you're safer. You walk up and you die. And here it's really bad if you snowball the deaths. So we're gonna see if that's... Oh, okay. They end up trading 1 for 1. Still, this was not a good play. That's just lucky that it worked out in a 1 for 1. Okay, 2 for 1 now. As you enter the late game, it's really important to just start controlling... not dying, of course, like the most important. And controlling vision around Fire Giant, and just... Even when you're behind, you can get pressure at the FG from a behind... like, even though you're behind in like gold a little bit. It doesn't matter this much at this stage of the game anyway, because everyone's basically full build. But you can just have pressure around the objective just by being the first team there that has the vision and controls the vision. And also, if you just get there and like you start setting up your wards, it allows your team to be prepared to find anyone making any like bad plays. Especially like sometimes people will just like jot off to the other side of the map, right? Enemies, you maybe see like that on like a wave or something. You can maybe take like a fight around the vision that you have. You can set up like ambushes. But at this stage, yeah, just don't do anything risky at all. Like, the only thing you're thinking about right now is the Fire Giants coming up. You need to be strong for that. That's it. You want to try and get the vision for yourself, and yeah, that's it. It's beautiful Fire Giant. Speed. Ooh, nice ult. Hopefully some follow-up here. Okay, good. Alright, now you guys are in a really good position if you play smart. You just have to buy enough time for the Hui, really. Okay, this Rat is really trolling here. Oh, he actually just died. So...
Yeah.
Okay, now you're in a great spot here. Here you have to be careful just doing this. You're lacking a little bit of vision, but I wanna see kind of if you guys get this for free. Just being aware that they're gonna collapse here, or like they're most likely gonna be able to try and get there. So being ready here is important. Okay, just make sure you stay in the pit here. Do you leave the pit? Oh, okay. And the Thor steals it after all that. No way.
Yeah, I know.
I said that was actually a really good ult by the Raw to get the pick there, so that it's not like it should be less of a 50-50, but the Thor steals it. I mean, here it's good that like you don't leave the pit. I was gonna say, just make sure like whenever you're doing the fire like this and your entire team's around, just make sure you stay in the pit like you did. And yeah, just play around like whatever the Hebo, trying to keep the Hebo out. And if he enters it, you guys just kill him together. It sucks that the Thor stole this. There's not much you could have done about that.
Yeah.
The only thing that really could have been different there was like, maybe if you got like a sash on the Hebo, you could have ulted him. But I mean, he juked it well. It's kind of hard to play around people like juking sometimes. Let's see what happens. You guys have a 3v5 still. They only have a EFG on 2, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, good insta sash. Okay, you have another Bombas proc. Maybe you can catch a stash here. Didn't even need to. I can say here again, like when your team is around, just alt off the sash. If they're close and people don't have like a way to immune it, like they don't have beats or whatever, you have people that can follow up. But you know, it's something that you have to kind of do by feeling a little bit sometimes. Because a lot of the time as well, it is good to just hold on to your alt and just not using it too frequently. Okay, we'll talk a little bit about what's happening here. Realistically, by the way, after whatever happened here, you guys should not keep pushing at all. You should try and catch your team to just back out. Again, whether they listen or not, that's nothing you can control. But you should know yourself that at this stage, the Hui is in mid. Just back out. You just got to pick. They have EFG on one guy. The only thing you really need to care about now is you just want to get your Phoenix back up. And this is what sucks about Smite right now. You can't really do anything that much else. You can play for the Only Fury. So like what I would do, just tell your team, retreat back. You have a 3k pot in hand. Like that. Huge power spike. Tell your team, back out. Let's go Gold Fury. Let's get the beacon. You have 2 people dead. This will be completely free. If the enemy tries to contest this, you will kill them. Unless, like, you know, everyone just loses their hands. But yeah, just you do a good job here getting the pick. Here in the late game, just try and tell your team, like try and have the knowledge yourself, build the knowledge yourself through experience, right? By calling and seeing kind of what works. That's, you know, you just need to build more experience in like what's correct, and eventually your knowledge base will grow. But yeah, you got to pick. It's one guy EFG. They basically have no advantage right now. You actually have the advantage, so just utilize this to get this off the map. You can get the tier 1 tower through just getting the beacon, and then you get a 3k pot, and then, you know, you can just roam with your team. You can look for picks. You can do things, but just staying up here just like,
isn't getting anything done.
Even if you do get a tier 2, right? Like, let's say even if you do get a tier 2, it's gonna take so long that by the time you back, and if no one dies, right, and you back, you're still not gonna be able to get like the Only Fury. You're not gonna get back up on the map. It's just such a low reward play and so high risk. Because if you die, remember your Phoenix is down. The objective of the game isn't kills or anything. It's who kills the Titan. And they have the only thing that you need to be able to kill the Titan. They have a Phoenix down. So you really just need to utilize the small windows you have in this late game where you get these picks, just be like, okay, now nice, we stalled the game. That's your job, kind of. When there's no EFG, you're just waiting for the next one. And the enemy team has it, you're just trying to make sure that they don't get too much from it. And you did that. You got the pick. You had a 2v5. You get the, you call your team. You all go left map. It's gonna play out so differently. But I'd say the most important thing to think about is just make sure that you guys don't like die. Don't do any stupid risky plays when you have a Phoenix down. Because if it goes wrong, you will just they just end the game, right?
Right.
So you have to be really careful once your Phoenix is down. You just do the small reward. Low risk, small reward plays. I mean, this would be like no risk and just reward. Like 0 risk reward to just have backed out, get the beacon, get the Oni Fury, and just wait for the next DFG. Oh, lucky Sash. Yeah,
I swear I hit that. I swear I hit that Sash.
Let's see what happens out of base, because I kind of fast forwarded a bit too much. But it's the same principle here, right? You have the respawn time. Get this in your like thought process whenever you play. Look at the respawn timers of your team, and their team. If people are dead, then they are dead. Use these numbers to your advantage. For 30 seconds, you have a 5v3, right?
Right.
5v3. So, you just focus on getting this Phoenix up. And then you can start looking for picks. Because if they make any misstep, and it's ranked, people, like, it's not competitive. Like, people are making a lot of mistakes all of the time. And if you just play smart and you just help guide your team, you can find these picks. And even if you don't, it's fine to just play it safe. I mean, here it's fine to look for this, because if you do it in a safe manner, like you're kind of doing, here you're positioning. You're not walking in like in a dumb way. You're looking for like a safe sash, whatever. But it's just keep in mind, just keep being careful at this stage of the game. Just be careful and look at the timers. Utilize the numbers. That's the most important thing. Fighting with numbers. Beautiful alt. Alright, again, same thing. You guys have the numbers. Let's see what happens here then. Now, this is a hard one to call, because you might be able to siege here, but you don't have any wave, which is the biggest issue. And again, it's not that difficult to defend a Phoenix. If your team is all grouped here, I think you guys do get this, if you don't like do something stupid.
Right.
But look at how far separated you are, and you don't have a wave on top of it. Like, if you get this Phoenix, it's not gonna win you the game at all. It will be nice.
Right.
But the thing you have to think about is like, okay, will this play, like, how much of an advantage does it give you? It's not that much. It's a little bit annoying for the enemies, but it's not gonna win you the game unless, you get like a team wipe after. And with the positioning of your team, you just can't look for it. Most likely you can't. I feel like you guys are gonna look for it and you're probably gonna die.
Yeah, this is definitely the point in the game where, like, we're 36 minutes in, everyone just wants out as soon as possible. And the closest way to get out is hoping we get this Phoenix and like the enemy team messes up somehow, and then we win the game. That's like, hopium.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Like it's just relying on too much from the enemies to make too many dumb stuff. If you want to be consistent, and like, especially when you're working on just improving and trying to get better, just consistently try making the correct choices, and like for you, you're just gonna win more games of it.
Yeah.
Like here, it's a different case. If you have a wave, if your team is all grouped. But here, just try and tell your team, again, you need to have the knowledge yourself, so you understand like what to do. And that's like what I want to help teach you, right? I want to help you learn, what to look for, when to look for it, and just
Yeah.
grow your knowledge.
Yeah.
Or expand your knowledge.
And I need that.
And yeah,
I need that desperately.
This just looks like a super high risk play, especially you're like Nasha walking up to hit that, and you at least live. And 2 of you die. And yeah, it's just kind of thing where like, okay, now if more of you die, then the enemy team just has a mega advantage because they already have the Phoenix down and they have fire waves, so they can just threaten 10. Maybe the rest of you live now. Okay, the Ganesha didn't follow up with your ult. That's pretty bad of him. Okay, you guys actually should have killed this rat here. Because if the Ganesha just ults on your ult, you would just one-shot this rat because you have the Hui following up. But it's again in a situation where like if anything goes wrong, you probably just lose the game. I don't even know. The VoD goes for longer, so I assume the game goes longer. But they
they don't end here. I forget what happens.
Did they not try? Does Raw have like the most clutch 1v5 ever or what? Okay, yeah, the enemy team.
Yeah, I think they just get scared and then they walk out. Yeah.
Now the fact that your Phoenix is done is completely fine. Again, the important objective is the EFG. The Gilgamesh died, so you can't really do anything. But your Phoenix being down, not the end of the world. Again, you're just playing like a stalling game. Here it is. Look for this pick. Yeah. Oh, nice. You might have got a double kill here. Nice. Okay, this is huge. This is when you need to like tell your team like what the fuck to do, because as you can tell, like your team doesn't know what's going on, and maybe a little bit you don't really know like what to do in these cases. But now the game is like heavily in your favor because this should be an EFG pull. The Gilga should be TPing. You have raw ult for secure. The Hebo just vault, so their most realistic way of stealing is only like a Charon ult through like, and if he steals it, then I'm gonna be sad for you. Okay, you get it. Alright, now you have a 5v3. You have 30 seconds. Now it's good to push mid like you do. The reason being you already have the Phoenixes down, so stalling, well, just trading so each of you have a Phoenix each. Just means that you don't have to like be bothered about the fire waves entering your base all the time.
Yeah.
You have a 3k pot EFG. You guys literally just one-shot this Phoenix. You could probably even just walk up and try and hit this. Just be smart. Nice, you bomb it. Juke the ult. Okay, now back out. Now it's like it's really important to tell your team to just be safe. You just heal up. Get the pick. Here, quick thing to think about is the fact that because you have EFG and 3k pot, you're a super effective split pusher as well.
Yeah.
So you can look to split for this Phoenix, but it's the kind of thing where you need to be very smart about it, and it would leave your team a bit vulnerable if they like get chased out. But it's just something to think about in your games. If you think you have the possibility, like if there's a small window where you can go and hit this, like you need like 5 autos, maybe you're gonna kill it. Like you're so strong with 3k pot EFG. And that's like when you're an assassin, you're basically almost on every push just splitting with EFG because you can just 1v1 the other assassin under the Phoenix if it comes to it. But usually you wanna play smart. But yeah, I mean, the Gilgamesh dying there, not really your fault. Let's see what happens next. Just fast forward. You got your mid Phoenix up. You have the EFG for like 1 minute. So now it's kind of, you don't have that much time, so you have to be very careful.
Right.
Right now, what I would be doing if I was you is just making sure to pressure this door, making sure he's not comfortable. You don't really have any, the wards that you place, like try and get a ward maybe over the wall or here. That gives you more information that you need. The only ward you want here is a sentry on yourself to deny the vision for the enemy of where you are, so they have to be like, you know, cautious. But in general, I would try and pressure through mid here, because it splits the attention of the people in this lane, and it also allows you to divert. So you basically create 3 opportunities for yourself, whereas if you're only in left, you can't really do anything but, you know, wait for the enemy to make a dumb mistake, and just, yeah, you're kind of like standing there just being like, okay, what's gonna happen? Whereas when you walk here, you create pressure yourself by forcing the enemies to pay attention to what you're doing. You have the possibility of like maybe trying to look for a pick on the Thor if he does a misplay, and it allows you to look for the Phoenix. You can still come into the fight. It allows you to come into flank or help on the front line or hit the Phoenix. You just create the most space and give yourself the most options. And now it looks like you guys are just gonna back out. When you start seeing the FG time is less than 30 seconds, if you guys haven't pulled like a Phoenix or whatever and you're already hitting it, just tell your team, just get out. Just get out, go get the objectives like you are right now. I hope that's what you're gonna do. But anything after like 30 seconds, if you start like doing the Phoenix siege or whatever, I feel like it always goes bad. Like you need like you want like a minute once you start like the siege, and then you're gonna have like some time for it to wear out while you're like backing out. But if you start the siege with like 30 seconds left, and then you maybe just about get the Phoenix, by the time you get the Phoenix, your FG is gonna wear out anyway. And then if a fight is prolonged, you're gonna be most likely at like a major disadvantage.
This is definitely like one of those like I'm getting frustrated because I'm like staring at them at left side, waiting for them to walk in, and they just never do.
And that's
I'm like standing here in mid.
Exactly what I mean with like if you're just like pressuring through mid here, you're just making people look so much at you, and it just gives you the opportunity to, as I said, just like go and back to the right Phoenix. Because that's what I would try and do is, whenever I have a 3k pot and an EFG, I just tell my team, just be safe, you know. You're gonna be the one that gets to look for these plays, because you can just walk in, you kill the Phoenixes so fast. You just need like 3 seconds, right? 3 seconds, you go kill a Phoenix. And a lot of the time when you go kill a Phoenix, what happens is the enemies, they start looking at you, like 1 or 2 people start rotating, and then that creates an opportunity for your other team, or the rest of your team, to go hit the other Phoenix.
Yeah.
And what, you know, if they don't, they don't. But at least you will have done everything that you can from the position you're in. And that's all you can do. Oh.
Yeah, and then someone makes the call to go to right.
Okay, this is...
We don't have EFG anymore.
Yep. And this is what I feel like always happens if the siege is like not cancelled by the time you have like 30 seconds left. It always happens like something like this, where people stay until EFG wears out, and then like your entire advantage is gone, and then you're fighting in a position where the enemy has like stronger angles. And yeah, now you guys just lose the game. Yeah. Okay.
And just walk down there and we lose.
Yeah. Well, that was like, you played pretty well in that game for the most part. I'd say your map play was pretty decent. I'd say the thing for you to work on the most that game was just the objectives, really, and understanding. It's like the risk reward in the mid-late game as well. Like, just don't take any risks. Like, okay, if you want to go for like a crazy outplay because you want to go for a crazy outplay, you know, go for it. That's like fun, right? I'm not gonna tell you to not play the game and have fun, but when you start entering the mid to late game, just remember that anytime you die, it is a huge impact because it can lead to the loss. Like early game, dying doesn't matter that much because you can't really you can build a lead of it, but a lead is really easy to throw away and make mistakes with. Like people make mistakes all the time. So just as you start entering mid-late game, just be really careful with your life, and then just be a lot smarter at, or just understand better, rather, what objectives to look for and when to look for it. Be better at prioritizing the fire giant. And when you do have the EFG and the 3k pots, try and be the one that's like looking for these kind of like split push angles. Because it just gives you so much opportunity to make plays on your own where you're not relying on your team doing stuff for you.
Right.
And yeah, just I'd say the biggest thing that game was just, yeah, with the objectives, just understanding a little bit better like when you should go for what. But in general, just try to make sure that if you can choose between a Phoenix and a Fire Giant, go for the Fire Giant. That's my opinion. And I feel like it's just a lot more consistent than, because a Phoenix, it eventually, most of the time, the people, if you lose a Phoenix, you can get it back up pretty easily. But the Fire Giant just helps you build such a big lead. And a lot of the time when you have Fire Giant, you just need to win a team fight. That's it. You don't need to win a siege. You just need to win a fight, and then you can win the game of that. But I mean, you're playing pretty well. Like, you got some nice plays, some nice ults. Just like some small like micro plays that could have been improved in some scenarios, and then you know the down plays you did, we kind of went over already. I don't really need to hop on that.
I just want to, because I don't have time to queue, like 5 hours a day or more to like, get those games in. So I just want to lose like as little as possible.
Yeah. I get that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else to really like talk about. Yeah, I mean, it's just understanding like the objectives, understanding your numbers more. Just keep looking on the map, keep looking at where your numbers are, because this happened a few times, even in like the mid game, right, where you're missing a little bit of information on the map that's being presented to you. That like if you see, well, you had the information presented, but you just missed it.
Yeah.
Just try and be aware of that, and just keep thinking that whenever you're fighting, at minimum, you want even numbers. But in general, you want to try and fight with numbers if you can. So, whenever you see like the enemy is gonna be out-rotating your own team, just try and get your team to back out, just try and stall the fight. A lot of the time, if you just stall the fight and get the enemies to like chase you, it turns into like a winning opportunity for you, like maybe 10-15 seconds later. But yeah, of course there are windows though where like, you have like 5-second window maybe where you have just like a 3v2 and then you just rush that fight as fast as possible, right? But
yeah,
again, it all comes with experience and knowing kind of how much time you need to do what and what requires. Yeah. Not sure. Yeah, is there any other question you had?
Not that I can think of right now, but very educational. I appreciate the coaching.
All right. It's been a good session, I think.
Learned a lot.
Yeah, that's good. Glad to hear that. All right. Well, I guess that's it for now then. And yeah, good pleasure, and good luck in your rank games.
Thanks, man.
Take care.
You too.
I think the girls with their nails done now.